This is an amazingly good question. What happens to the photos after they're shot? Most people don't understand, well, why am I paying so much for a photographer? Okay, well, you know, there's a lot of work that goes into the photos afterwards. It takes a lot of time. If anybody's good, they should be looking at their photos after they shot them. They should be going through editing them. Not just editing them, correcting them, making sure that not just the exposures are right. Let's say, you know, I know for myself, I don't do as much, I don't have to do, thankfully, much Photoshop these days. Most of my work is in, well, Lightroom, if people know what that is. But, you know, I'll still go through and make sure the bride and groom look good. If they have a zit that day, it's gone. It's never gonna, they're never gonna see that. I don't want them to see that. I mean, that's just standard what people should do. So there is a lot of work that's involved in the post work, and it does take, you know, quite a long time. And, yeah, longer than it does to shoot it. Much longer, so. The way that I personally do it is I do go through, I deliver probably on average about 1,500 is about right number as far as amount of images. You know, give or take a little bit, depending on how many hours of coverage, etc. And usually in most cases I do a slideshow DVD. I go through and make a selection of about like 75 images-ish, and I'll put a DVD set to music, and it's really pretty and awesome, and so that way the first time they see it, it kind of moves the way I want it to move, it feels the way I want it to feel, it really has that impact. That's the way that I like to do it. I also do an online gallery so people can actually see the images online. Plus they also get a disc of their masters. I do give out my masters. A lot of photographers don't believe in that, but I think they're just kind of, you got to move with the times. It's just what's done. If I'm going to hire a wedding photographer, I want my masters, well, I'm not going to tolerate not having them, well, then I'm going to give them out. It's how it works. And I also give out an extra DVD of, or CD, I guess these days, of low resolution for Facebook. So you get your high res, and you also get Facebook stuff too. Well, a lot of my pitch is listening. At the first point of it, it's again, I want to find out who they are, get an idea for their vision, get an idea for a sense of them, and then I'll know what to do, because it's like an art piece. You know, I don't want to project upon, you know, something that's not them. I want to find out what's them and then create the best art for that, if that makes sense. So that way it really looks exactly like them, but perfect. You know, rather than if you try to exactly kind of like what I said before, if you try to throw rock and roll onto somebody that's not rock and roll, ooh, it doesn't work. But it doesn't, even if they're not rock and roll, doesn't mean it can't be awesome. It can be amazing. Just, you got to fit the medium. You got to fit it all together.